All right, welcome. What's up?
Seriously, what's up? We're back.
We're back here.
Back in more ways than one. We're back skateboarders.
Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk.
I've been trying to keep my progress on the DL, but I'm going to share it with the home audience soon.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to, when I was going through this recovery, I didn't want it to be just a repeat of what I went through last time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I'm really, that's what I'm sharing, it's people just going to roll their eyes like, oh, here we go again.
I don't know if anybody's looking at it like that,
Well,
but
that's how I'm self-conscious, so I just felt like I don't want to share it until I'm beyond where I was last time, and I feel like I'm getting there.
Way beyond.
Yeah.
After today, are you serious?
After today, I feel
what
like
I saw you do today
better.
was 1,000 times better than anything I've seen you with that one leg shit.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be joking me. It's night and day.
Yeah, there's still some shortcomings I feel, so that's just on me.
Right.
I'm almost there though. I'm ready.
Yeah. I just think it's more about how safe you look going from one side to the other. Because that was a thing that was, I think I got used to it, where at first you drop in and I was like, dude, you sure that's a good idea? Like, I didn't want to say anything, but then I got used to it and I was like, yeah, that's Tony. He kind of one legs it around the ramp.
Yeah.
And
it is shocking when now that I can lean forward for the most part. I'm still a little bit cautious, but it's shocking to know how much I was leaning on my back foot. I mean, it's basically like, it was like 75%
that's
on my back foot.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, just always kind of ready for a wheelie.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. You weren't hiding it very well.
No.
But today you look solid,
thank
dude.
you.
Like just going across the flat, you just look like it's not dangerous anymore. It looks like it's normal again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're fine, you know?
Yeah, there are things that give me pause, though, I'll tell you that. There are things that I go up and I'm like, oh, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Yeah.
But at least, at the very least, I recognize that now. And before, I was just trying to force it so hard that I was ignoring all the danger signs.
Yeah.
So that's a shift.
Yeah. I think I learned something, too. I feel like, not skating a lot and being inconsistent, I would get this thing... I'd go across the flat and I would lose my balance and sort of lean forward or lean back and just catch myself. And then
still go for it.
And still go for it.
Yeah.
But now when that happens, I just get out.
But I mean, that's heavy. This is the second. I saw you skating the other day. I wasn't here, but I saw it, online. And you're doing body jars. Like, that's the trick that took you out. Like, just back on the horse.
I had to get that, dude.
That's heavy.
I was like, if you don't do that, you might lose it. And that was one of my most enjoyable things to do. And I was like, you're not taking that from me. I can do it.
You're not taking the body jar.
Yeah.
It's my body jar.
It is my body jar. You can't have that. Not yet, anyway. I'll give you
I was watching the Olympic qualifiers in Dubai. And at one point, they're like, and there's a body jar. And I was like, okay, this is the problem right here, is that you're highlighting a body jar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a Vert contest,
you don't highlight that
unless do it. You're only doing that to recover from something sketchy.
Right.
No one is doing that. What's that?
Unless you're Lincoln.
Even Lincoln, who could do it 8 feet high, is not going to do it in his run. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to dwell on it.
Nope.
But there was a moment where I was like, did he really just say there's that body jar? Like, dude, that's not a trick to highlight. And that's the reason why the park skating and the vert skating thing is such an issue.
Yeah, because I don't even really follow it. And I just saw Instagram show me stuff of people that I assume were medal contenders doing things that I can do.
Yeah, there were some sick lines and the way they used the park. And obviously there were some sick tricks as well.
Yeah.
But there are some things where I'm just like, man, like the 50-50s around the corner is just not.
I know, right?
The thing is
There's
not.
little things.
Yeah, that's
sometimes I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. And then other things I'm like, wait, I did that
Yeah.
with no pads on. Like, what are you
Yes,
talking
exactly.
about? 15 seconds left. Like, what are you talking about? Surely there's another trick you could have done there that's new and
That's a new,
up to date, up to date.
The
Like,
difficulty factor is a little higher.
I'm like, kickflip
Yeah.
indie. Like, what, dude? Get out of here
I
with
know.
that.
I know,
Like,
it's
I
tricky,
get
man.
embarrassed doing them now, and I'm 50. Doing it in a contest, right? Like, dude.
I've heard some rumblings of people that some of the organizers or some of the people that have embedded themselves in the Olympics are trying to push for Vert. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I mean, I respect what they're doing, and I think it's great, and I think that they should have it. But to know that the Vert guys don't have it, I've skated a lot of concrete in my life of skateboarding, and I've done 540s in concrete bowls, and I've done kickflip indies and heel flip fronted airs in concrete bowls.
yeah.
It was
But
a
it
little
wasn't
bit,
moving the needle.
It was a little bit harder, but it wasn't moving. Nobody
Right,
cared.
yes,
I don't think anyone took
exactly,
a photo of it.
Yeah,
I just did it and went home. Like nobody even got a video
that
of
sums
it.
it up right there.
And
You know
that's
what? Yeah.
in your winning ride. And then Vert dudes, and then I come to the Vert ramp, and there's like 8 to 10 dudes that I go, whoa,
Right.
that's impossible. Whoa, that's impossible. You know, the Eddies and the Jimmies of the world doing really impossible
Yeah.
stuff that no one else can do.
I think that the silver lining is that some of those guys are doing it there.
Yeah, they do both.
Some of the actual the heavy vert skaters are
I
doing
saw a
that.
guy do a heel flip fronted air, and he heel flipped the board over here and caught it over here and then threw it back on.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this was my contest, like he would have lost a point or maybe even been ejected from the contest.
Oh my God.
What was that? 2023. You do not ghost ride the whip and then no. Have you not seen like Street League, dude? Like it goes up and it.
Yeah, well,
Have you not seen Max Shaft
everyone
and
can
Danny Way in
but
like
Hail Marys,
in the 90s? 90s, it went to their feet.
That's true. You got a point there.
Come on. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Tony, could you imagine if we had Nutrafol as a sponsor when we first started doing shows together?
Oh, like 20 years ago? I still have my 80s flop, and you might not have so many tattoos on your head.
I would still have the tattoos,
Oh.
but then I would be able to cover it whenever I felt like it. But where were you? Well, for everyone else out there, Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage.
Nutrafol's hair growth nutraceuticals go beyond genetics to multi-target the root cause of thinning, including stress, yes, hormones, yep, nutrition, metabolism, aging, and lifestyle through whole body health.
Physician formulated using natural medical grade ingredients. Nutrafol drug-free patented technology provides consistent, reliable results without compromising your sexual health.
In a clinical study, men showed progressive improvement in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months.
Nutrafol is also trusted and recommended by more than 3,000 top doctors.
You can grow thicker and healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com/men and entering the promo code HAWKWOLF to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time.
Plus, free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com/men. Spell Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code HAWKWOLF.
Yeah, well.
But obstacles, you know, they're great.
It is cool to see that this generation, that's on the program for them, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they get to travel to Dubai or wherever they're going to hold the other qualifiers, representing their country. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Way to put it
we can be
positive.
we can be curmudgeonly about the level of skating in park and bowl all we want, but it is very cool that is the whole crux of it.
Yeah. But I don't think we're too spoiled to say, why don't you bring all the Vert dudes too?
Absolutely.
Not trying to say ban them and bring the Vert dudes. I'm saying bring everybody.
Let's put it this way. If you put a Vert contest in, no one's going to say, and there's that body jar.
No. No, they might say there's that 540 body jar because we do things a little further.
Can you imagine if a NAR jar happened in one of those events?
Why isn't it happening?
I know, it absolutely it has every right to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the NAR jar in the corner?
There's no NAR jars.
Somebody call Sandro and get him in there. I feel like he could do it.
He probably could.
Like he has.
Because sometimes they have a bigger wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell where there's a Vert quarter pipe.
Yeah.
And every guy that put a little rent on the Vert rent
Big
is
ass
like, ooh.
tail grab 5.
Yeah. Oh, no, I did see that. That was awesome.
Tom Shar had some moves.
But he's
a gnarly Vert skater.
That's right.
Yep.
That's different. He can do everything.
Yep.
That's different. Same with his nose grinds, all that stuff. That's a trick in itself when you do it like that.
Right.
But if you do it like I do it, don't be doing that in the contest.
No, I wouldn't either.
Keep that to yourself, son.
I watched someone tagged me in a contest video recently, and I do a just frontside nose grind, bashing in, just forcing it in, no nollie, and every time I see him, like, ah. But at the time, no one was doing them, so they couldn't figure out how to nollie in yet.
No.
So I was justified, but watching it back, I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I can't nollie in. It looks like I'm having a seizure.
Yeah. No, I feel like...
Can you do that?
No. No.
No.
I've thought about it, but I'm just like, I'm too old to take that slam.
Yeah.
But boy, do I want to do that, because to me, that's the only...
so sick.
After I saw it done that way, I don't want to do mine anymore.
Yeah, me.
That was the end of my nose grind days, where I was like, oh, wait, you could do it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just watch.
Yes. I can give it enough of a nollie going backside that I feel okay about it.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
Yeah. I don't really, like, bounce it in, but...
Zach Miller does the best.
Yeah, true.
And you can tell that he does it really easy.
Right.
Like, it's just a grind to him. I'm like, you bastard.
Yeah,
You can do that, like, on a bad day, he can do that.
Sick. I love it.
Yeah, I would love to have that in my repertoire. It would go well.
So I know it was a little while ago, but our Super Bowl commercial finally aired, and it was funny because I kind of had to keep it a secret, but we had the Undertaker on, and at the time that we recorded with him, it hadn't aired, so we couldn't really talk about what it was.
Oh yeah.
But that's where we met.
Okay.
Did you see the commercial?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
You're pretty good, and every time they put you in stuff, it's kind of...
That one was fun. That one, we actually did a little scene too where Ludacris and I are making fun of Kevin Hart with his butter sculpture.
Yeah.
And that didn't make the commercial, but they did. I think they used it as a different clip somewhere. It's pretty funny.
Okay. Wait, that's out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, where Luda's like, that's ludicrous. And then he's like, wait, you think that's too far? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you're right. I should probably add the arms.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Was it an actual butter sculpture or no?
I couldn't really tell.
Right.
It looked like it was covered in butter for sure. It might have been something solid underneath.
But it was his face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So that day when you're filming all that, are you all hanging out, hobnobbing with each other? Or?
No, because they try not to keep everyone all day, so they try to stagger it. So I was there. And the Undertaker had just arrived as I was finishing.
Okay.
And then when they were setting up one of the shots, I saw Dr. J, which was Dr. J.
Yeah.
That was huge for me.
It's a fair question.
Yeah. Well, he's like 70s.
He was
basketball.
before my time, but because I followed it.
But when I was a kid, it was all Dr. Dr. J was Magic Johnson.
He was Jordan, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Magic, whatever.
Yeah, I still remember the one they play all the time where he goes underneath the backboard and lays it up.
Yeah.
And it was like no one until that day had done that.
Yeah,
and it was like, what is that?
Yeah, so my day of watching sports, it was Dr. J, and then my dad took me to Harlem Globetrotters.
Ooh. They were way cooler then, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not that cool.
I mean, it's a show, so...
I know, but back then it was like, why aren't they in the NBA?
Yeah. It was funny because they when I saw them in San Diego, they played a local team.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a minor league, but it might have been a college team and you could tell they were toying with them and let them score some points, and then at some point just turned and destroyed them.
Do you think the team they played were being paid to like let it happen, or?
I think they were stoked to be included.
But if they really wanted to beat the Globetrotters, you don't think they could have? Okay.
No.
Right.
I mean, you watch them and they really are very talented.
Now, instead of the Globetrotters, it's now like the Professor and all that. What are they called? Street bowlers. Because there's better guys.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's a new version of it.
Yeah, but the Globetrotters were, they're spinning the ball and they're like goofing around with like throwing it between people's legs just to mess with them, and then purposely taking like full court shots.
Right.
And passing it to that guy. Like once he missed, getting the ball back and passing it back to the dude for a full court shot. Like they were doing stuff like that in the game. I mean, as a kid, like it was amazing. It was magical.
Did you ever watch Street Ball?
Not really, no.
They, at the time, it was very similar to us. This is the thing I noticed right when the Tony Hawk Tour ended. Street Ball started and they had buses like we did. And they had a show. And I was like, oh, I kind of know what it's like to be in Street Ball.
Right.
Like they travel to a spot, do a demo, back in the bus, off they go. But I got really into it. Like there's this dude, I still follow him on Instagram, the Professor. He's like a little white kid and he's got crazy moves. He like breaks people's ankles and he goes everywhere, all around the country and the world. And any court he goes to, somebody wants a piece, he will gladly light you up and school you in front of all your friends. Like that's the thing that he does. But it was him and Hot Sauce and Cadillac, a big fat guy. It was like 300 pounds, Duncan.
So great.
And it was
They're
like
superheroes.
One of them made it to the NBA. Skip to my Lou got signed to the, I don't know his real name. I just know that at one point Skip to Malou was in the NBA and it was like, see, these guys can really play.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I was always stoked on
But probably at the time, I don't know what the pay structure was like, but Harlem Globetrotters were so huge. They were filling arenas.
Right.
To be one of them, I assume, paid better
You'd hope.
Than NBA at the time. I don't know.
I don't think it paid better than the NBA.
Well, to be a low-level player, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know what the NBA was like. I remember at one point in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, I interviewed Jason Richardson, and he had just won the dunk contest for the year. And he was, I think he played for the Bullets. I don't know who, it didn't matter. But he was saying the guys on the bench get $3 million a year. And I was like, $3 million to be on the bench. I remember never forgetting it, see it in my mind. I was like, the best guy in the world in skateboarding doesn't get $3 million. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure, and I'm sure that everything has changed since the 70s when the owners are making all the money. So
right.
I hope they have. I don't know.
It's supposedly different. I mean, dude, football players, basketball players, and baseball players make the most money out of all. Oh, sorry, soccer players too. Like you can be average and be so rich.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I say average,
too, right?
What's that?
Golf too.
Oh, I think golf might even be higher. I don't know.
Yeah.
What? Because there's so many more golfers though. That's the difference. Like I think you can be ranked like 500, as in there's 800 people that are being pro around you. So that's some stiffer competition.
True.
But I think that if you're like in the top 200, you are banking it.
Yeah.
Let alone, if you're a top 200 skateboarder, you work at Kmart. It's a little bit different. But I get it. Everybody watches it. It's still a bit weird to understand why. Like, I'm the opposite. Like, I want to do it versus watch it. But MMA, I watch it, I guess.
Right.
But
okay. Now that we're going on different tangents. Well, anyway, to close out the Super Bowl thing, I didn't really get to hang out with anyone. I just said hi to him. That was pretty much it. And I literally was walking by The Undertaker, and I stopped for a photo, and that photo went crazy viral.
It did.
And that was my interaction with him. That was the only time that I even talked to him, was just taking that photo.
But you talked to him a lot.
Emmett Smith came to my trailer.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. He literally came to come say hi and get a photo. So that was cool.
No way, that's awesome.
That was sick.
You talked to The Undertaker when he was on the show, though.
When he's on our show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Off the show, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had lunch together.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Afterwards?
No, before.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, I did. I was sitting there.
Yeah.
That was when my kid hurt his lip.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
trying to organize it.
Yeah, you were having
a ride.
issues.
Yep.
But then you just said MMA, and it reminded me that Riley texted me today, my son Riley, and said, hey, can I have Jason Ellis's number because I have an MMA question for him?
Yeah, he does, which was funny because I was getting gas and I saw my phone get a text from a number that isn't mine, isn't saved, and I just saw, my dad gave me your number. And I'm like, why would Tiger give my number to a friend? And then it's like, it's Riley. And I'm like, oh, why don't you have my number? That's weird. And I was like, he's like, hey man, I'm looking to get some MMA training. And I was like, yeah, of course. He's like, when I'm in LA, I'm like, anytime, dude, I'll make it happen. But I think that it came from the fight. This is a bit behind, but the UFC happened this weekend where Volkanovski fought for the champ of champs, like the number one ranked fighter in the world, pound for pound, versus the number 2 pound for pound. So it's a big deal. And Volkanovski was on my show, the Jason Ellis show, and I was like, do you think you could try and punch me in the face? And I'll try and get out of the way of it. And he was like, you're probably not going to get out of the way of it. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I've fought, I can do it. And he's like, yeah, okay. So I slipped a couple. So I posted that for the fights this weekend. And I bet you he saw that.
Oh, really?
And was like, Jason can slip a punch from the pound for pound greatest fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe he does know something. That's where I think it came from.
That's probably true. He just got, I can't remember. He got a pretty significant belt in jiu-jitsu.
That's right, because he's super into it.
Yeah, they did a whole ceremony for him.
Do you know what color it is?
I want to say white, but...
White belt you get when you start.
Oh, blue?
That's the first belt you get when you're learning.
What's next?
Depends who you go to, but probably purple or brown.
I think he might have got purple.
Right.
But they said he did it in sort of record time.
Yeah, I think he was already a blue belt. He just doesn't seem like a guy that would take long.
He told me after the fact, and I was like, oh, I would have gone. He goes, they surprised me with it. I didn't really know.
They do that.
Yeah.
You don't know when you reach it. Your coach just surprises you and gives you.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So he's trying to be a well-rounded mixed martial artist. He's like, now I've got jiu-jitsu. Now I need to learn my strike.
Now that I'm mastering jiu-jitsu,
Yeah. I see the plan.
On.
Yeah. Man, I hope he doesn't fight.
Why is that?
Because it's dumb.
Because you don't want to see him get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Riley has gotten hurt through the years.
Yeah. Yep. It shouldn't be coming out of my mouth right now. Shut up.
He's had.
He's
been plagued with ankle problems. It was rough for a while.
Because he like actual tearing and stuff.
Yeah, but and tearing and rolling it so that it doesn't work. Like it should have been broken, but it's not broken.
Yeah.
And then he actually there was a doctor that was doing some experimental surgeries with wires and tying loops around stuff, and they actually created a surgery for him, and ended up doing it on his other ankle and for other people,
and made it better.
Made it like a signature surgery. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a skater's roll ankle surgery.
Well, a sort of beyond damaged ankle surgery. Yeah.
Stuff.
I think for the inner ligaments. I can't remember exactly what, but
it's inside there.
Inside, yeah. Where he I don't know exactly what, but there was sort of a whole new procedure, and one of our other kids ended up getting it too.
Because he's rolled his ankle so much.
Yeah, because Calvin got it really bad, so he got the same surgery. He's like, I'm going to give you Riley surgery.
How do you feel about your children having surgeries for their ankles to work again?
When he did it the first time, I felt bad. When he did it the second time, he was in Europe shooting for Lakai, and I could tell that it was way worse. So I booked him a flight home that day or the next morning, and it got worse. Well, it swelled up worse on the flight. So when he got home, it just looked grotesque, like the worst balloon ever. I just felt bad. Like it was, it's not more like he's gonna be all right. He's tough. It's just like I felt really awful for him, and I didn't have any sort of advice or experience to be able to say, oh yeah, you just do this because like I roll my ankles, but mine like are just loose.
Right.
They weren't like that. They weren't so debilitating. Like my worst ankle injury, I was skating a week later.
Right. Right. So you kind of feel bad that he's going through the pain, but he can take it. But the worst thing is that he can't skate.
And it could be something that is permanent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we know more than anybody when you face something where the doctor's like, this might might just keep coming out, and you're like, because that's been some earth-shattering news that I've received several times in my life where the doctor's like, I don't even know if there's a surgery for that. I think it's just going to keep coming out. And I'm like, what do you mean my shoulder's going to keep coming out? And then somehow we figure out a way where we keep it in. There's always a way.
Yeah. Well, it can benefit you to look for second opinions.
Yeah. Or third.
From the experts. Don't keep looking for the opinion you want. Listen to the experts.
Yeah. Because
I think some people go down the run and they're like, well, that guy finally said what I wanted to hear. And it's like, well, maybe what you wanted to hear isn't actually a reality.
Yeah, that was another really important piece of that puzzle that you should bring.
Riley broke his collarbone when he was, like 17 or 18. That was rough because it was so obvious. He came home. He came home and his shoulder's just like in the worst position. And
yeah.
I mean, I've separated mine, so I know what that looks like. This was not a separated shoulder.
Yeah.
This one was like definitely mechanically wrong.
So is that like a surgery?
Yeah, that one he has screws in, and that one was fine though.
Yeah, something about just breaking it that is not as bad as tearing ligaments.
Yeah, when I separated mine, it just felt like my arm was just dangling for the first week or so.
Yeah, because it
kind of is.
Yeah.
But I was, I guess, lucky. I don't know. Lucky's not the right word, but fortunate that I was touring with Dennis McCoy, who had done it before, and recognized it immediately.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we were in the middle of, it was during a Huck Jam. We were in the middle of a demo, and I caught the wind. It was super windy. We were outdoors, and the wind flipped my board upside down as I was coming in on a backside air. And then I went into the flat, and I was like, oh, I think I dislocated my shoulder. I don't know, but it still works. I can't tell. And I went up onto the deck, and Dennis was like, oh, you separated it. Like, look, mine does the same thing. Yeah. And then I'm like, so what happens? He's like, nothing.
So what happens? Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm good to go then.
Okay. And then I took the next run thinking like, okay. And I went to grab, like, I think I did an invert. And as soon as I grabbed my board, it felt like someone was yanking on my arm to remove it from my body.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew, like, oh, I can't just go on with my day.
No, you got to baby it.
I got to do something, So I skated the rest of those shows for 3 weeks, only using my indie arm.
All right. Yeah, I've got one before where I didn't know. I was just like, man, I'm old. Can't take the pain like I used to. And then I went to get PRP on it, and the doctor that was injecting me was using an ultrasound on my shoulder, and he goes, wait a minute, your shoulder's separated. Do you know that? And I was like, I did not, but I feel better. And he's like, why would you feel better? I was like, because I thought I was getting so old I can't take the pain. But if you're telling me it's separated and I'm saying that it hurts to move it, I feel good about it now.
Just have a diagnosis.
Yeah, because I was like, man, did you sprain your ankle and it's so much pain that you can't sleep?
Right.
This is, and I think I was probably 40. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is not good. And then he's like, dude, you're separated. I'm like, okay, I'm acting like a normal person. I'm like, this is killing me. It's hard to lift. And it's like, yeah, because it's separated.
I had a friend whose shoulder would go out when we skated, and he was like a buff little dude.
Yeah.
And then he wanted us to put it back in every time.
Yeah.
And he was so muscly that it was
it's gross putting it back in.
It felt like Yeah, it felt like we're just putting him in a torture device.
Yeah, it is. I've
No,
done that.
just do it. Pull it out. I'm like, okay. And then you
'cause
just feel it drop. And
the
that's like,
longer you take, the more
Yeah.
it hurts afterwards.
Yeah.
You got to get it in straight away.
we got it in.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a heavy burden to put on somebody.
Yeah.
Though. When you're not a doctor and it's like, who knows how to put a shoulder back in? I'm like, I kind of do. But I've also done it where I've just yanked on someone's arm and they've gone, ah! And it's still out. And I'm like, whoa.
I think I told this story
You're welcome.
One time I was in this demo on like a mini vert ramp, the kind that you just whip out all the time.
Yeah.
At a skate park, indoor skate park, and all these people were just on the edge of it, and my board got away from me, and this kid was just looking at the ramp, hit him in the forehead, and immediately just blood going down his nose, and I was like, oh my God, no, and then he's like, it's all right, and then this blood is just coming, so I instinctively took my shirt off and smashed it on his forehead, and then took him to I think they had a pro shop, whatever, the check-in counter or something.
Yeah.
I was like, do you guys have any steri strips or anything? They're like, oh, no, I don't. Like, just so unprepared.
Yeah.
At the skate park. I'll never forget it. And I was doing a demo. I just left
You
the
left
demo.
the demo with the kid that you
holding
broke
my
his-
shirt on his forehead.
All right. How old was this kid?
At the time, I think he was probably maybe 11 or 12.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, it's okay. I'm like, it's not okay. And so then I had some stickers and I cleaned it and then I stickered it together. I was like, I'm just trying to close it so it stops bleeding and because otherwise you got to go get stitches right now.
Yeah.
He's like, it's cool. He's like, my mom works at a hospital. It'll be fine. So then I stickered his forehead together.
Yeah. And it worked.
And we both went back to the ramp.
And he watched the demo.
Yes.
With the sticker head.
Yes.
Probably pumped because you
He
put the
was
sticker
pumped. He's like, my mom, I know we'll take care of it later. It's okay.
on. It's okay. My mom will freak out.
I know that's what I kept thinking. And also like freak out on my hygiene.
Yeah, I don't know. It's better than just like, you'll be all right, kid. Like, at least you you took him to the shop and stuff. It's like you tried to help.
I hope if somehow he's watching, it was in Vegas, if he's watching, he would be definitely in his 30s or 40s by now. But
Right. He's probably got a sweet scar from it, I just realized. Split in between the eyes. Fellas, do you sometimes need a little help in the bedroom? Erectile dysfunction is a common medical issue that over 30 million men in the US tackle every day.
the doctors at RexMD will evaluate you online without an office visit needed and ship medication directly to your door before the big day. With RexMD, they're here to help and provide you with real FDA-approved medications at the best price.
RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it discreetly to your door. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, no copays.
Take advantage of their best deal ever and save up to 90% off and pay as low as $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to rexmd.com/HVW for this limited time deal.
With just a few clicks of a button, you can talk to a medical professional, create a personalized plan, and get the products discreetly shipped straight to your door within 2 days.
Act now and take advantage of their deal by heading to rexmd.com/HVW.
Our exclusive deal will save you up to 90%, everybody, off where you'll pay as low as $2 per dose on generic Viagra instead of $90 on Viagra. Starter packs and generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. That's rexmd.com/HVW for 90% off and a free gift. Your partner will thank you. Don't skip this ad read or else you'll get 7 years bad luck. A quick word from our friends at MoneyGram.
So many of our favorite digital services seamlessly meet the physical world when they're delivered to your front door. But until now, that hasn't been true for crypto.
Digital currencies have been tied up online with no easy way to bring them into the real world.
That's why we're so excited to share with you that you can now cash in and out of select digital wallets at participating MoneyGram locations without a bank, credit card, or debit card.
That's pretty cool, Tony. So go flex your finances using the only digital wallets that real cash access activated by MoneyGram. Learn more at moneygram.com/stellarwallets.
That's moneygram.com/STELLA ELLARWALLETS. There was a girl that happened to in what's the square in Sydney? We did a big demo there.
Where the Opera House is?
I don't think it's where the Opera House is.
King's Cross?
No. It was downtown. Oh man, I can't remember. They put a ramp up. It was the first Bones Brigade tour. Christian was skating.
A vert ramp.
Yeah, it was, and people are all on the rooftops. We're watching.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something square.
I don't know.
St. Mark's Square. Does that sound right?
I'm from Melbourne. Anyway,
come on.
I don't know stuff. I've been living here.
Sorry to Aussies that I forgot what it was called. But anyway, my board got away from me. I remember it vividly, 360 varial, when they just shoot out, they fly away from you. But I was close to the edge, which taught me in that moment never to do them close to the edge again.
Oh, no.
And it got some girl like that. And I think it was more like on her head, not on the forehead.
Yeah.
But years later, we were there for a Bondi event. And this guy's like, hey, man, you remember skating that demo and your boy got away from you? And he's like, that was my sister.
He's all pumped.
Yeah. And I was like, what? She's like, she forgot about it. It's fine.
Did she? Like, I'd like to hear her like story. Did she completely forgot about this one time a board split her head in half? I don't know.
Oh man,
Might have stayed there with her.
I hate that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I was always the policeman of kids on the edge of the ramp. Through those years, Yeah,
because no one would say it.
Yeah, everyone just, it was sort of like, it wasn't they were oblivious, but everyone was just in denial that it's going to happen. Actually, it did happen. It happened at one of those E3. Remember E3?
Yep.
So Activision was always put up my ramp, right?
Mm-hmm.
My demo ramp. It's got nets and stuff. It's got safety guards. I mean, we were not messing around. And we always had a crazy crew. And then I don't remember another software manufacturer that was making a skate game had a demo in their booth, same year.
Yeah.
With some small, sketchy vert ramp, no guards, and someone got rocked.
Yeah.
Someone got rocked so bad that it shut down all skating for future E3s.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because if you don't put those nets there, if you come to the ramp and you don't know vert skating, one of the better positions to watch is right on the corner, right on the transition. And I've just seen people stand there and go, oh, wow, you guys are doing a vert demo? Cool. And I'm like, hey, dude, just so you know, that spot, that's where they go. Like, just be ready. And they either take
That's where they go at full speed.
Yeah. And you're usually, because you don't know skateboarding, you're not looking.
Right.
You're looking at somebody else.
I know. Oh, it gives me the chills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we were always very, very aware of that. One time, Bob at a Huck Jam, our nets are so high. Our nets are like at least 15, 20 feet above the deck. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We were not going to let any boards go into the audience. And Bob shoots out and his board goes all the way up and just teeters on the top of the net and then fell onto the audience side. Luckily, they were all fully ready for it, and there weren't, I think the seats were relatively empty right at that place. Okay, so what else?
Just trying to get ready for my event. It's all starting to happen now. I'm trying to get everybody organized and get this band to play, and that was like a back and forth thing because they're a lot bigger than we are. And I was like, I just need you to do some covers. And they're like, oh. And then a friend that knows them was like, yeah, he's a good dude, just needs some covers. And they're like,
wait, because they are an original band? Or
yeah, they're a band but they do Johnny Cash and somebody. They're a band of famous band that is from other bands to do this band that does.
They're like transplants from other bands.
Yeah, and they do covers of Johnny Cash and some other famous person. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we're metal guys from back in the day, so we can do all kinds of heavy stuff. But yeah, we could do like some of your songs, some of our songs. And I was like, I just need pretty much a karaoke band to do like 8 songs, and that's it. And he's like, oh yeah, we could do that.
But when you say karaoke band, because you already have the singers picked out for their songs? Or
Fans can audition. They send their singing auditions.
oh, wow, that's sick.
And if it's good, then we pick them.
Okay.
And then I'll sing a song. If you come, you'll sing a song. Dr. Drew's going to sing a song. So there's be a few celebrities that'll sing. And
What is Dr. Drew going to sing?
it's up to him. He's
Really?
singing the anthem on Saturday.
No way.
He's sung the national anthem for Alice Mania several times.
Wow.
He's a trained opera singer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sick.
He has like a little whistle thing that he blows to get the pitch before he starts and sings it like real proper.
Wow, that's amazing.
It really is.
But I wonder what
It
Dr.
gets the people going.
I mean,
that's for sure.
so Dr. Drew came his early days from K-Rock, which was one of the first alternative radio, you know, so I just wonder what his choice of music is.
Yeah, it's not going to be Ace of Spades.
Good. Clever.
Yeah.
Good way
If
to
he
slip
has-
that in there.
If he has any, I don't know, like what would be I don't know what he would, like I'll sing a popular song and I'm like, what one would it be?
Yeah.
Because it could be anything with him.
Huh. I'm curious.
Yeah, me too. But his wife just texted me. He's in. He's in for both. I'm like,
so
okay.
awesome.
Yeah, he loves to sing. He likes to do it. And
That's amazing.
He doesn't seem like the guy that is, but
Yeah.
he obviously spent a long time doing it because he not only is he good at it, but he can tell he's excited to show you
Right.
because he knows
Oh,
you're going
I
to
would
be
be too.
impressed.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not even good, and I'm excited to do it.
Yeah.
When I sing, you know what I mean? I'm like, I know I'm not going to hit all the notes, but
Yeah, me too.
it's going to be good enough, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do something where I'm taking it away from someone else who's really talented.
Right. Well,
But I
this
did
is-
just do. I don't know if that's out yet. But I just did another one of those. I did it. Yeah, I told you.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was like, another one?
No, 9 Inch Nails. No.
Okay. Okay.
It's pretty sick.
That's amazing.
We did it.
It's
And
my
I'm
favorite
not going to
version.
surprise. I'm not going to surprise the cameo, but we shot the video yesterday on the boardwalk in Oceanside.
Yeah.
So the song is playing in my ears, and I'm just skating down the whole length of the boardwalk for the entire song.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people were recognizing me, so they would like turn around, and start chasing me, or like roller skate girls are dancing, and then we're like
Yeah.
high fiving as we go by. It was pretty
Yes.
sick. It was really fun.
When does that come out?
I don't know. That's why
Okay.
I feel like it probably will be soon because he has all the pieces now. He's just waiting on my video.
When you say he's waiting on all the pieces, do you mean Trent Reznor?
No, the guy that's putting it together.
Okay.
No, Trent has no connection to it.
Okay.
They just did it.
It's my favorite version of that song
Thank you.
because it sounds exactly right. I'm like, wait, it's a little off. It sounds like Tony Hawk. But it's still that song. It's very
Still
confusing.
that song. Yeah, that was fun though. And I'm really testing the limits of my leg because I was pushing around for a good 2.5 hours.
How was that in the morning?
I skated today.
Didn't feel it?
I felt it. You could tell at the end of the session I wasn't getting the amount of speed I needed.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of where it is, where I get a good 20 minutes and a half hour skating where I can make progress, and then my leg's just like, that's it. That's all I'm giving you.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, it's been a lot, dude.
I know. But it's exciting.
Yeah, you should be. I felt like we were back today. You know, like, am I going anywhere near what I was? No, but I can skate again.
Yeah.
We can skate again.
We are, I don't know if you're skating there, but I'm doing that demo in Salt Lake City.
I am announcing, yes.
Yeah. So we're doing a demo. It's at a tech conference. It's more of a private event, which feels weird, but I also wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to skate it. And now I feel like I could skate it. I still kind of feel like I'm phoning it in, but it's a private event, so I'm not going to put too much weight on it.
I feel like phoning it in was a harsh choice of words. It'd be different if you were 100% and you did what you did, but you're
I know, but I have such stubborn pride that I've never been in a situation where I know I'm not going to perform at a top level
Yeah.
in public.
Yeah.
And this time going into it, I'm very much like, it's not going to be. I'm not going to go in with the skills that I wish for.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to go in with the skills that I have. And if you don't know vert skating, it's going to be enough to show something cool, but it's not where I want to be.
Yeah.
But it's also, it's, let's see, it's March. That's 4 months into my last surgery. Pretty good.
Well, Rihanna did the Super Bowl the other day, and she was pregnant, and she didn't do that great, but she was pregnant. So I think it made up for
Do
it.
that great. You mean singing or moving? I didn't see it.
She
Sorry.
didn't move a lot, but I'm like,
She
if
wasn't
you're
moving a
pregnant,
lot.
that's fair.
Yeah,
you know?
that works. Yeah.
But it was also like, I don't know, it was pretty average. I like her too.
Okay.
It just seemed like,
Yeah.
I was like, maybe there's a lot of celebrities out there that aren't pregnant. Maybe you could have got one of those.
So that's what I was doing during the Super Bowl. I was out skating the boardwalk, shooting this video.
Right.
Because I thought that it would be more empty. Wasn't
Right.
empty.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people don't care about the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I actually watched some of it
Yeah.
because Katie wants to watch the halftime thing.
Right.
So instead of missing it, we just had it on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, that guy got a touchdown. I was like, I wonder if the other guys will get a touchdown. Oh, they did. Well, this is a pretty good game.
I did a thing with a company a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't know, it's dumb. It's not like they're gonna come back to me, but I won't say their name. But I did a commercial for Super Bowl a long time ago, and through that, the company said, "Oh, the Super Bowl's in San Diego. Do you want tickets?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why not? I go, what? I don't follow football, but to attend a Super Bowl seems like something to do.
Yeah.
But what I didn't know is that their tickets were just like comp tickets in the highest seats. Like we were way up in the nosebleeds. I am not kidding, it took 5 hours to get to the stadium. 5 hours.
Nah.
And we planned ahead. So we like left early to get there, got in as the game was starting. Because we were going to go there and, do stuff in the beginning.
Are you talking about traffic or just trying to get...
Traffic, yeah, because it was the old Jack Murphy Stadium here in San Diego, and it was the Super Bowl. So it's already a shit show getting in there.
Yeah.
And then to have it be the Super Bowl, just all traffic from all directions was gridlocked.
Yeah.
It was such a... Yep.
Yep.
Womp womp.
Yeah. And to be in the back,
And
man.
then to be... I'm talking about... And my eyes are pretty bad. Like, we were way up high. I don't even know. I don't know what player. I didn't even know if they were on the same team or not. Like, I was just like, dude, this sucks.
I've done that once at the UFC. Dana White used to give me tickets. Shout out to Dana White. But one time I got tickets, and I don't complain. I don't ask. I'm grateful for whatever I get.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I was down in like the celebrity thing, like cage side, and I was like, every time Dana gives me tickets, they're like real good ones. And then one time I got tickets and we're trying to find where it is. And the guy goes, no, you're going up, man, not down. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. And then we go up and up and up. And I'm like, oh, man. And then someone texts me. He's like, you like your seats? I'm like, to be honest, no. And they're like, what? Why not? I'm like, because we're like up against the wall in the back of the stadium. And she's like, that's not your tickets. And then next thing,
really?
Yeah, the next thing you know, Dana texts me and goes, come down here, dude. Like, you got the wrong tickets.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, cool. But I was going to take it.
Yeah.
I did at least half an hour up there. And then all of a sudden I'm back down in the other spot. And I'm like, it's kind of like if you've ever been in first class, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
But then when you go, you're like, wow, people live like this. And then you get on a plane again and you go back to economy and you're like, man, I almost wish I did not experience that because I know that somebody up the front right now is like, yes, I will have whatever it is. And I'm in here like, I will not have anything. So I'm like, man.
I feel that, though. Definitely, if you haven't... If that's all you've experienced, then you really have no appreciation.
Yeah. And I think from the start I was like pretty close up from the get-go. And I'm also a fan. Like if I go to the UFC, I go for the prelims. Like I'm not a celebrity that shows up for the main event. I'm watching all the fights and I'm watching them. I'm not drunk. I'm not chit-chatting with everybody. And I'm not saying it's wrong for you to do it that way. I get it. Bunch of boys, you're all hanging out, drinking and doing that. I'm watching every fight, and if you're in the way or you're screaming, you're stopping me from watching the fight.
Right. Yeah.
And when you're down there,
You are there for the purpose that is intended.
Yes.
Yes.
And when you're down there with the celebrity goobers,
they just want to take selfies and be seen.
Yeah. But at least they shut up.
Be on camera.
Yeah.
At least they shut up.
At least they don't like.
Right.
The only time it's crazy, because this has happened before, where I went to a fight and one of my friends was fighting somebody else who was a Brazilian guy, and he had his whole family in that area. So for his fight, this Brazilian family was going apeshit. Mama, papa, granddad, everybody just bashing into me, flipping out, flags over the front of my head so I can't see the fight. I'm like, hey, come on. Like, you don't need to put the flag over my face.
But that was his family.
Yeah, but you can't tell Lyoto Machida's family to sit down. I'm not saying anything to them. It's their family.
Yeah.
But then when his fight was over, they left, and I was like, thank God. I was like, I thought it was another hour of this. Yeah, Brazil. I'm like, I love Brazil too, but man, let me see the fight.
When you're talking about first class, it reminded me, like, I think really the first time that I flew first class was I was at Woodward, and I was at Woodward when I found out my dad died. And I just went and booked a flight and got to the airport, just like that very morning. And the president of Airwalk at the time just happened to be on my flight because Airwalk was based there, State College.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, yeah, you going home? I'm like, yeah, my father passed away. And he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. And he goes up to the ticket counter, and then he's like, here, I upgraded you. That was pretty cool.
Do you remember the flight? Like, it seems like a day.
No, I mean, it was all, it was all.
I know, right?
A whirlwind, but I thought I was very kind of him, and that was, I mean.
When was the first time you went first class under your own reconnaissance?
I can't remember. I think it would have been with Miles.
Oh, okay. From
Miles
traveling
upgrade.
so much.
Yes. Yeah.
That's right. I remember you gave me it was like, hey, man.
Oh, global
and
upgrade.
I'm like, what is that?
Global
He's like,
upgrade
trust me, you'll like
certificate.
it.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe took like 3 months for me to realize what you'd given me. This thing just gets me first class everywhere. Like, I'm like, what about that? Is that a good thing? They're like, yeah, Mr. Ellis, would you like to go into business to Sydney? And I'm like, to Sydney? Yeah.
But it's a certificate for one upgrade.
I used it to go to Australia.
That's what I'm saying, though. But that's the thing. Global upgrade certificate is for any flight.
Yeah.
However long, upgraded.
We're talking $3,000 for a flight versus 10, 15 grand.
Or if you booked a business class ticket, it upgrades you to first.
Right, which
is next level.
Well, I think this might have been the same one where I got upgraded, so I'm in business to Sydney. And when you go long distance, business and first class is a different monster. It's like a whole bigger cabin area. Seats go back to a bed.
Oh, no, I mean, nowadays, you have your own little room.
Right.
There's a door on some flights.
Colin showed me.
I haven't done a door yet, but oh my God.
Dude, but I flew to Sydney, and then the guy, one of the airline guys, this is before I was gay or even knew I was. I might have had my suspicions. But he was flirting with me on the flight from America to Sydney. And then when I got back on the plane, because it was the same plane, when I went to get on, he's like, there's nobody in first. So I upgraded you to first. So then I went in first from Sydney to Melbourne. And then when I was leaving, he gave me a bottle of champagne. And I didn't know what it was, but apparently it was like a really expensive one too.
Wow.
Yeah, I got hooked up that day. That was pretty cool.
And you didn't give me your number.
No, that was not going to happen.
Not yet.
I was like, that's a crazy thing to do.
I flew, when we were in Austin, I had to fly straight to Miami for a speaking gig. And I was in the lounge. There's like an American Airlines lounge.
Yeah.
And it's a restaurant, and you go in and you just have the menu, and you order whatever, and they just bring it. There's no charge. Like I've been in lounges where there's a bunch of snacks and it's a buffet pretty much, right?
Yeah, it's like cookies and stuff.
No, I mean sometimes if you're traveling internationally, they have a pretty good spread.
Okay.
There's some cool lounges. They're usually really crowded. This one, there was only one other person in the restaurant, and that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
Which was super sick.
So awesome.
And we go in and just order breakfast. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And they use a menu, and they're just like, here you go. Okay, bye. Have a nice flight.
Yeah. That sounds so cool.
That's my flex.
I miss those.
Large.
I miss those. Being single and having you as a friend with the upgrade. Because you gave me more than one, dude. It wasn't, you gave me those.
I used to get a ton of them on United. I think
so, because every now and then you'd be like, hey, man, you want one of those things again? And I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd have it in my bag for 6 months being like, I'm going to fuck somebody up with this thing, just so pumped on it. Because once I realized what it was, I was like, oh, baby, these things are like gems. But there was a little bit there where I flew enough to upgrade to business when I would fly back. And when you flew back, like Australia to America, it's a long flight. If you have business or first class, people just think that you're successful and you get treated differently. I know it's not fair, and I should be like, nah, man, but what about economy gym over here? But I was pumped. They were being nice to me, and I was like, I'm such a turd. And these guys are like, oh, would you like another champagne? And I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. Let me get a beer. Hey, you want some wine? Yeah, I'll have some wine. Yeah, some more steak. Yeah, bring on the steak. And just movies, black. I'd wake up, drool on my face, oh, go get another wine. They're like, yes, you can. Because they never say no in first class.
Because they never say no.
They never tell you no in that section. They just always go, yes, you can, Mr. Ellis.
One time I was flying home, and the girl next to me, they cut her off.
Okay.
I did see that happen.
What did she say to get cut off in first class?
I don't know. You can just tell there was something off, and then they're just like, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Right. I think I had more of a Australian. This is back when I drank a lot too, so I had I was one of those people that I think my alcoholism was working against me so well that when I was blacked out, my alcoholism could still make my mouth order another drink without a slur to get the drink. I don't even know where I am. It's like, excuse me, sir. I'm like, vodka tonic. I could always say vodka tonic, no problem. They'd be like, oh, he said that pretty clear. You okay, sir? Totally.
I remember we went out one time on the gigantic skate park tour, and I can't remember what it was. Something happened where we had a high demo and a bunch of stuff went down, and we all went out, a bunch of us. You were there too. And then at some point, you just kept trying to find the next party, and I was in. I was like, let's go. And then we met some dudes, and they said that they had their friend was in the NBA or something, and they were going to this house party at a mansion, and we're like, yeah, man, let's do that. And you're like, yeah. And then you got his number, and then we all ended up back at some suite, and I just remember you on the phone trying to find the dude, and no one's calling you back, and you're like, I remember you just mumbling in the phone, Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy, mate. Bill Bellamy.
That means
you're going to bail.
I'm bailing.
Yeah. Bill Bellamy. And then you finally just gave up on the phone, and you're looking at me, and you go, Bill Bellamy. I'm like, okay, I think the night's over then. Is that right?
That's what Bill Bellamy means.
But you couldn't make out any other cohesive words or sentence. It was only, you were just on repeat with Bill Bellamy. I was like, all right, good to see you, Jason. See you tomorrow.
It was either Bill Bellamy or vodka tonic. That's the only two words I had left.
I think I was with Mike V, actually, and we both looked at it what is it? I think that means it's over.
Yeah, I'm surprised you were standing anywhere near me when I'm doing Bill Bellamy's. Everybody needs to get out of here. If you hear me mumbling that, run. You definitely don't want to go wherever I was going to go, that's for sure. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I don't think there was any going anywhere.
No, that's fair.
Bill Bellamy.
Oh, man. Sometimes my legs were so mean to me because they would just... They would keep taking me places. I'm like, if you really cared about me, legs, you would stop getting me up. Just, no. Let's go to another party. No, legs. Stop him. He doesn't need to go to another party. Doesn't need another vodka tonic, that's for sure. But I would always, with mouth and legs, get me everywhere.
Mouth and legs.
Vodka tonic, do. Oh,
Such a good summary.
Carrie said I was at the club and I had this is when I was drinking Amaretto and Hennessy on the rocks in big glasses. So I have a big glass of it. And I was sitting there by the dance floor, people dancing, and my drink just drops out of my hand still holding it, and smashes all over the ground, and I'm standing there with my hand like I'm still got it. And Carrie's like, Jace. And I'm like, yeah. Think it's time for you to go to your room, mate. I'm like, okay. and then he escorted me out of the club to the room. He's like, this is your room. Okay. Then, I don't know what I was doing in there for another couple of hours. But
yeah, vodka tonic. Yeah. Where's the vodka tonic in this room? I need some vodka tonic.
Vodka tonic. Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy vodka tonic. Yeah, until I passed out. Yeah, but I won't do that again. I'm glad he remembers it.
Yes, exactly.
I don't need to do that again.
I think the most obnoxious thing I did at a room service once, and it was during one of the Huck Shams, and everyone came up to my suite. I was like, come on, we'll order dinner.
Yeah.
And I don't know, 15 people or something.
Yeah.
And then I called room service, and I was like, can you just give me one of everything on the menu?
Nice.
Like all the entrees, all the appetizers? They're like, no, sir.
No.
I'm like, no? Like, okay, well, I'll take the tuna tartare. I'll have the beef stroganoff. I'll have the chicken schnitzel. I'll have the filet mignon. I read every single item.
And then you ordered it anyway.
That's what I'm saying. I read every item individually.
Yeah, and then
so that I did order the entire menu.
Right. You just can't say I want the entire menu.
Yeah, because they were like, that's just too obnoxious.
Right.
You can't just come here and say this.
It's Vegas.
No, it wasn't Vegas.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Vegas. But it was a hoity-toity hotel that I would think would accommodate that kind of request.
Hoity-toity. People love to order everything on the menu, don't they?
It's or they love that they're going to get a big tip from that, right?
Yeah. I don't understand. People with all their money don't
I get it. They just thought I was flexing and just being a dick.
Let him flex. Man, put it in the corridor if necessary. Let him flex. You're getting the money for it. I had to work all day. I don't sleep. I finally make millions of dollars. Everything on the menu. Everything.
I want to try it all.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to try it. Maybe I just want to look at it. You bring it. Man, come on. I'm trying to indulge, let's go.
I have a friend that used to work at clubs with bottle service, and they were in charge of the VIP area with the bottle service, and he said this one guy would come every weekend, and whoever was the high roller there, he would order more bottles than him just to flex on that.
Yeah.
And he said at one point he would order 10 bottles of Cristal, or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
They would put 4 back and sell them to him the next weekend because he didn't open them.
And you didn't take them.
And he didn't take them, and so they put them back, and then it just kept going. And then the next weekend, some dude, high roller over here, is going to order 5 bottles. He's like, I'm ordering 7. And they're like, all right.
He was watching other tables for how many bottles?
Yeah, just so he could be the...
Surely there's better stuff you can do with your money, dude. Man, that is ridiculous.
I mean, that kind of stuff is just... It's just kind of sad that you can't find a better sense of purpose.
Right. That is a good point.
That sucks.
What's the most balling out of control thing you've ever seen in your years of hanging out with all these bowlers?
I don't know. I don't really...
Was there anybody that just...
Yeah, they do, but I'm just not... you know what I mean? I'm not in the mix to know what's really going on there. I think the most baller thing that I heard about in one of those events, especially Gumball, was one guy had car trouble, might have crashed his car. I'm not sure. Something ridiculous. Some supercar.
Okay.
Right. Whatever it was. Lambo.
And he
Ferrari, crashed it or got a flat or something, but wanted to stay with the rally. So it was before Uber. Got a cab to the next city. So hours.
Yeah.
Right, in a cab. And then went to the dealership and bought the same exact car he had.
Sick.
That's the most absurd baller move I heard.
I feel like the most insane.
And so the car he's buying is definitely, you know,
$250,000 at least.
it's somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I think the most baller thing I've ever heard of is Bam Margera having a check for $1 million in his glove compartment and going to Lamborghini. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard it from several people that are friends with him that he gave them the check and said, send me the change, and drove off. And they said, yeah, okay.
Wait, so he signed a check over to them?
Yep, for $1 million, and the car was like, $200,000. And because he gave it to him like that, they like didn't do the paperwork thing. Like they literally just let him drive off. And I was like,
I mean, that's folklore, but
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I remember it was somebody also said that check was in a compartment for such a long time that he forgot it was there.
wow.
But that seems like, because he's not the richest person I've met by any means, but he's definitely one of the richest shitheads that's ever existed. I mean that, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean like me. Like if I was making $5 million a year, I'm one of the richest shitheads that's ever lived. Because to me, $5 million a year is like, my brain can't spend it because I don't know what there is to buy that could tap that. You know what I mean? I'm like, the most expensive thing in the world is a Lamborghini. That's the most expensive thing that you can buy in the world. You get a Lamborghini and then that's it. You go to lunch. I don't know. Get 2 Lamborghinis? Like I don't need 2. I just need 1. Even if I made all that money, but like I know that there's jets.
You need a Koenigsegg.
I need what?
A Koenigsegg.
What's that?
That's like a crazy Swedish supercar that are millions.
Oh, well,
There you
yeah.
go.
If I made $5
If
million
you're
a
making
year,
that kind of money, you talk to me. I'll tell you how to, if you really want to spend it like an asshole.
my man.
I'll tell you.
Well, this show, TikTok, baby. I'll be get ready for that text message. Tony, I now make $5 million a year. What's this Swedish meatball car you're talking
right.
about?
There you go. So next show, he's, going to go look into Koenigsegg's.
Wait, next show? That's
Right? It's good. It's happening very quickly, Jason.
Wow, it is. Wow, your mum's house really helped, huh? Like and describe.
Like I said, maybe they'll be a sponsor.
Yeah.
There you go.
That'd be cool. Lamborghini. Eh?
See you next week.